We have another edition of the Madrid Derby kicking off next weekend. And in this video, we're going to be previewing the match for you guys, giving you our keys to success for both teams. And of course, at the very end, giving you guys a professional score prediction. If you like La Liga, make sure you hit subscribe because I'm pretty sure we're the only English language La Liga show here on YouTube. And we're going to be doing a special episode next weekend, immediately after the Derby, reacting to the match. Drop a like on the video. Let's not waste any time. Michael, I think I've told you this before. This is my favorite and least favorite game of the year, the Madrid Derby. I'm an Atleti fan. Don't let the Chinese national team kid fool you guys. Little background here. Like I said, this is going to be the second Madrid Derby in La Liga this season. It was a 1-1 draw, late draw for Atleti at the Metropolitano earlier in the season. The last two visits to the Bernabeu for Atleti have also been a draw. Are we going to get another draw? Let us know in the comments. Before we get into score predictions, keys to success. What do both teams need to do in order to walk away with the 3 points next weekend? Let's start with Real Madrid. What do we think Real Madrid needs to do to beat Atleti next weekend?
They need to get an early goal. Because the longer this game goes 0-0, let's say if it gets into 70th minute, Atleti, they get the goosebumps. Simeone is just going crazy on the sideline, and they can just feel it because these guys are the late goal merchants. So I think for Real, it's all about just getting that early goal, settling the nerves, and now with the injury of Antonio Rudiger, what the heck is the center back pairing going to be? Asensio and Tchouaméni? That would worry me. And what do you do really if you're Carlo? Do you say to yourself, let's start Valverde at the right back position? Because Lucas Vázquez, he's been terrible in 2025. You kind of have to go with it because you see with Atleti, they're just going to sit back and counterattack. So I wonder really, it's going to come down to Carlo's lineup choices and getting an early goal. We know they got the talent, Real, and I still think they are a very good team. Defensively, I think they're a liability, and we've seen that time and time again in La Liga to the Champions League. So the key for Real is getting the early goal, getting as many times as possible Vinny the ball. Because the right side of Atleti has been performing a little bit better, but I still see it as the weakness in this Atleti defense. Yes, you can talk about the left side, but yeah, I think it's going to be very critical for Real to get an early goal.
I am not kidding. My number one key to success for Real Madrid is score early. Because straight facts. We've said it many times here on La Liga. Atletico Madrid, White Walker FC, Zombie FC, Walking Dead, whatever you want to do, Resident Evil, bro. If it's the 80th minute and it's 0-0, we're going to win the game. Atleti will win the game. I promise you. So I guess the key for Atleti then on the flip side will be don't concede early. Another thing that I think is a key for Real Madrid, and you said get Vinicius the ball. Something that I think needs to happen for Real Madrid is more involvement from Jude Bellingham and specifically higher up the pitch. Real Madrid just lost to Espanyol away, and I felt like when I was watching the game, too often I'm seeing Jude have to drop really deep to get the ball. Or whenever he receives the ball and it's in the attacking third, he's receiving it to immediately play it off of somebody. He's just not getting enough touches in dangerous places. And when Jude Bellingham is balling out, I don't know if Real Madrid have lost a game this season. If I go back and look at their losses, when they lose, it's usually because Jude Bellingham and sometimes Valverde as well were just not involved at all going forward. So they need to find a way to get him reps. It's going to be a big battle against the Atleti midfield. But I would echo your sentiment as well. Big games needed from Jude. Big game needed from Vinicius. The Fede at right back is fascinating because if you put him there, who do you think Carlo would start in the midfield next to Jude?
Ceballos and Modric.
Modric gets the start?
Yeah, because you kind of need a control, and you know what Atleti are going to do. They're just going to sit back. So why not get a playmaker like Modric into the midfield to break down that low block? Then you can get the runs in behind from Vinny to Rodrigo to Mbappe. I just think you need more of a playmaker because Valverde is an engine, box to box. He's not a creator. I think that's why he would kind of fit on that right back position. I don't think Carlo's going to do that. I think he's going to go with Vázquez. And to be honest, that might be his downfall because then all Atleti need to do is put a cross into the back post where Vázquez is, and he'll lose that one-on-one situation every single time. That's what mostly Madrid have been conceding this season, in my opinion. So, yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Carlo deals with the lineup.
Yeah, the danger from the Atleti perspective for me is, Fede's long shot is, top 3 in the world, just absolutely butter. I mean, he does have a ballistic missile as a leg. And so if Atleti's in a position where we're sitting back too deep, like I felt like Espanyol did this a few times, but Fede was not in a shooting opportunity. We've seen it against teams like Osasuna earlier in the season. He'll just let it rip from well outside the box, and he's got 5 goals this season. I think 4 are from outside the box. I'm pretty sure. So he's scary in that way, but I agree. You're talking tight spaces. You probably want the Luka Modric in there to find the key pass because that's just not Fede's like biggest strength. He can do it, but not as well.
What about for Atleti then? Yeah, I was going to ask you because you're the Atleti fan. What do you guys need to do? Because when's the last time Atleti have won away at the Santiago Bernabeu? I know what year it is. What do you think it is? Remember we did this for the Barca preview, and I said to you when was the last time. It's been a while, and I'll just give this hint. It's been a while.
I'm gonna say 2013.
2016.
Okay. That ain't bad. That ain't bad. I'll take that. What was Barca? That answer was like 2007 or something.
Yeah, 2007 or 2006, if I'm not mistaken.
That was insane. In elementary school last time that happened. I know it's going to be a Herculean effort needed for Atleti to get the 3 points, but weirdly, and maybe you can push back, that record doesn't worry me because we're seeing so many weird things in La Liga this season. Everybody's getting their first win ever. Everyone's getting their first win in 30 years. I mean, Espanyol just beat Real Madrid, for God's sake. Las Palmas is beating Barcelona. You know, Leganés is beating Atleti. I mean, it's like...
And Barca.
And they still might go down. We'll talk about that in a different episode. It's subscribe. It's like there's something in the water right now in Spain. Something in the air. I don't know what happened. Extra carbon monoxide, but records are being broken left and right. Lead, copper, I mean, something. I think the number one key for Atleti is keep it ugly. And this is like telling a wolf that he needs to howl at the moon, right? It's in the Atleti DNA. I think something that teams who have beat Real Madrid, I should say every team but Barcelona who have beat Real Madrid this season, make it physical, make it rough. I think players, especially like Mbappe, he doesn't like to be touched. You know, Vinicius, you can get inside his head. You got to slow it down. You got to frustrate Real Madrid. I'm talking Dark Arts FC. We all know what time it is. I don't even need to say this because it's just part of Atleti and what they're going to do. But I think that's the number one key for us.
You need to do exactly what you've done multiple times away from home this season. Away to PSG and away to Barcelona. Hang on for dear life, get the 1-1 and get the late goal. That's what Atleti have to do. They're not going to outplay Real Madrid. That's not how Atleti are going to win this game. Dark Arts, De Paul has to have a big game because that's what he did in the second half against Barcelona. De Paul turned up. That's what you need from De Paul. And I think Simeone has done well to rotate the team and keep it fresh. So Griezmann's got to have a big game. Julian's going to have a big game. Is Sorloth going to be an impact sub once again and score a crucial goal? That's the key for Atleti. You got to be... Also, though, you got to take it to Real Madrid because this defense isn't the greatest. You cannot be so afraid of the moment. Seize the moment, Simeone. Seize the moment. This is like if you get this win, I mean, it's another big moment in this title season. So I'm so hyped up for this game. I don't think it's going to be pretty. You know, Madrid derbies are never like spectacular for a neutral to watch, but it's just the intensity that they bring, and Atleti just need to bring the intensity and Jan Oblak to once again have a big game. That's the keys for Atleti.
Yeah, that is the thing to watch for Atleti. I agree, beating Real Madrid this season typically involves attacking Real Madrid, but it's Simeone, bro. He's not going to have a setup in a 3-4-3 and just go out there like guns blazing. Like, it's just never going to happen. You kind of touched on a couple players there. I have like some of the key matchups I think we need to watch in the Madrid derby. Alexander Sorloth, who I don't think will start, versus whoever the hell are the Real Madrid CBs. Probably Asensio and Tchouaméni. Like, Atleti, you have to exploit that. I'm talking cross. We're going to have to turn into U.S. men's national team under Greg Berhalter. Cross after cross. Win the aerial duels. We need a big game from Sorloth.
Yep, I would agree with that. Another key matchup, probably Rodrigo De Paul against Bellingham. Let's see who can out-duel each other. I think that's going to be a really fascinating matchup because both players, I would say obviously DePaul is a bit more of a roughhouse sort of player, but Bellingham can get stuck in. So I'm really excited to see that matchup because this is a game where Madrid need Bellingham to really step up his game if they want to win. So yeah, that's a matchup to watch.
Last one I have here, and this has been a big player for us, especially over the last couple months. Giuliano Simeone versus Fran Garcia. That is going to be extremely. Fran Garcia is fast. Giuliano's fast as well. We got two speed demons going to be going at it on the right-hand side. And Giuliano was so good against Salzburg in the Champions League, had a really great assist against Mallorca in the league this weekend. That's an area to watch. I think Lucas Vasquez always going to be a liability, but in the games in which I remember Real Madrid being put up against it, like Osasuna, Rayo Vallecano away, Fran Garcia struggled in those games. Players win at Fran Garcia in those matches, and I think Giuliano in the form he's in, that's going to be one to watch. Fran Garcia is a good defender. He can lock you down in certain matches, but he also has a stinker every once in a while. Big deal if we can win the battle outright. Should we do score predictions? Do we want to wrap it up there?
Yep. 2-2.
You think we get 4 goals?
Yeah. I think it's going to be 2-2.
Do I dare say 2-1 Atleti?
Well, you did for the Barca game, and it came true. Will they seize the moment again?
God, I'm just thinking. I should have also said Reynildo versus Rodrigo. That one kind of scares me a little bit.
Yeah.
If he gets ISO'd, I mean, it's going to be tough. Okay, for the sake of time, dude, I think we might get another 1-1. I'm kind of thinking another 1-1. If I'm picking a winner, Atleti win the game. But I think we're going to get another 1-1.
See, I was thinking if we're going to get a winner here, it's more Real Madrid.
You think so?
I think they're going to bounce back after that Espanyol game. Maybe that was a good wake-up call for Real Madrid after losing to Espanyol, that they get this wake-up, and then they have the Madrid derby and see how it goes. But it's going to be exciting, man. If it's a draw, though, you know who's the biggest winner? Barcelona.
Villarreal are the biggest winner if that happens. No, that'll be, man, I would be a little disappointed if Atleti don't score. I'm going to be honest. For that back line, if we walk out of there with a 0-0 draw or Real Madrid 1, Atleti 0, I think we fumbled a big opportunity. You're never going to see Real Madrid's back line this week ever again in the history of the club.
Yep.
You know what? I think Atleti's going to win 2-1. We win the game. We win the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got him.
I fell for the trap. Like we said, guys, we'll be back next weekend for a recap of the Derby. We should have the full Lengua de la Liga squad back for that one, so it should be good. Hit subscribe for that. Let us know down below in the comments who walks out of the Bernabeu with 3 points next weekend. Check us out on social media. We'll see you guys in the next one.